Hi, good evening. This is Sajan. Today, I would like to discuss about the scaling options in AWS EC2. In the case of scaling, what is mean by scaling? In the case of EC2 service, we have the option to increase the capacity of the instance as well as a decrease based on the based on the demand. So that is was scaling. So we have a scale up and scale up down. So when we increase the capacity, that is scale up, and when you decrease, it is scale down. So both are commonly called vertical scaling. So before discussing this scaling, let us discuss some important instance states. So in the case of instance state, we have a stopped state and the hibernate state and running state. So the running state, whenever when we launch the instance, and after that it will become running state. So whenever we don't need, we need to go for a long break for the virtual machine in the cloud, then we can go for a stopped state. And in the case of hibernate state, it's like making like a pause of the particular state. It's like in the case of, if you know the virtual machine, where if you take the snapshot of particular times frame timestamp, so the current state of the machine will be taken as the image. So when we start with the next time, the process every process will be starting from the particular the place where it was taken the image. So that is hibernate state. So in the case of stop state, here I have listed out what are the various, what happens when the instance is in stop state. It is will be in the OS, and application is running, it will stop running. And the EBS volume, EBS means elastic block storage. The volume will be that attachment will be preserve the data. And billing, the ECS compute charges will be stopped immediately. And the storage, the EBS storage, EBS storage charge will be continue. Okay. Then when to use, it will be used when we go for long term pauses, when, and as well as when we are going for vertical scaling. So as I told earlier, when we scale up or scale down the capacity of the um, instance, then we can go for stopped state. So so these are the important points needs to be considered for stop state. The one important point is during running state we cannot do any vertical scaling. So only during, after the stop state, only the vertical scaling can be possible. Okay. Then we have a hibernate state. It gives the more. What is mean by what happens when when it is in hibernate mode. So OS and running process are paused rather than terminated. So it instead of a termination, just it will take an snapshot of the process state. Uh, so in the case of billing considerations, no EC2 compute charges will be applied, but EBS storage plus the snapshot of the RAM EBS volume will be considered. So here these are the two comparisons between stopped and hibernate mode. In the case of OS boot process, what will happen? Once it is stopped, it fresh reboot will be required. It's like once you stop the uh, laptop, just you need to again just start. Newly we are going to start like that. In the case of Hibernate, what will happen? It will resumes from the previous session. Just like closing of the laptop, and when we open, it will be just resume from the previous session. So that is one point. And the running the process. So what our process running when we go for stop state, everything will be lost. But Hibernate, it will be preserved exactly as left. Oh, and what timestamp it is, it goes to Hibernate. When we start again, then it will be started from particular that session. EBS data, in the case of stop state, it will be also preserved. Here, Hibernate preserved, the EBS data will be preserved, plus RAM star snapshot also will be considered. Billing, as I told, no ECS cost, but EBS, that storage cost alone will be. But here, additionally, RAM snapshot storage. Startup time, it will take longer time because it will start from basic to all the entire cycle will be started. Full boot sequence required. In the case of Hibernate, it's just fast resume state. The case of vertical scaling, this one is supported. Uh, Stopped state only, the vertical scaling supported. Hibernate, the vertical scaling is not at all possible. Primary use case, that is when we need to use when we go for long term pause, we can go. This is for short term small break. Then vertical scaling, when it is used, or what we need to do, and what are the changes it needs to be done. So here in the case of vertical scaling, we need to identify which scenario we need to increase the CPU and memory capacity. So at that time we need to go for, based on the discussion with the developers and the other stakeholders, we need to decide when we need to go for this scaling. So after once you decided, we need to change the instance type from the AWS EC2 service. Here we need to change it. It will be actions. It will be in that table called actions. In the menu, we can say instance settings. There you need to change from instance settings from change instance type. You need to select change instance type. It will, if you already have a T2 micro CPU, then we need to change this T2 large. Then what we need to do, we need to stop the instance. Then when we do start the instance again, so this change instance type will be happen only when we do stop instance. Okay, after stop instance only we can change the instance type from T2 micro to T2 large. So this downtime is needed for in this vertical scaling. So then again, when we do start instant, in an instant state becomes now the instance type will become T2 large. In the case of horizontal scaling, it is another approach where additional instance will be added. Okay, deploy multiple smaller instances will be added. The case of vertical instance, with a single instance, the capacity will be changed from small micro to large. But here in the case of horizontal scaling, new smaller instance will be added to avoid without any downtime. This horizontal scaling doesn't need any downtime. So another important point here is this approach give high availability and fault tolerance. Oh, these all about scaling. Let us discuss the next topic later. Thank you. Thanks for listening.